Welcome to GMS midweek late night live chat. Well, long time never do live chat because I'm quite busy for the week after our dinner. A lot of backlog to deal with, but it's okay. We finally have a time. So I hope to resume two live chat per week, hopefully at least one live chat per week. Now, today I'm going to talk about quite a lot of things. But mainly to kickstart uh, my campaign topic for the coming January election. Well, before that, I think we will have to do some updates on the current affairs, right? Now, the current affairs here is quite interesting. Within one day, we actually have two two POFMA sent by PAP government, right? One is our good friend Mr. Leong over the HDB grant issue, and the other one, unexpectedly, it was about this. Well, Mr. Jong, right, the former NCMP from the Workers' Party. I think he's still active in the Workers' Party. Hopefully, he didn't lose his candidacy because of this POFMA, because POFMA is just basically weaponized, I would say abused by the PAP government, right? I've said this even before this happened to him, right? Now, for Mr. Leong Ziyan, I think he apparently got it wrong. Like, I have to admit that the grant, it depends on which grant you are talking about, right? Uh, I think out of the three grants, I think two grants are actually means tested. However, it's quite debatable in that sense that if you are putting a grant out because the resale market is very high, then you up the grant to 120,000. But first of all, people who can buy at that level, that high prices, I think their so-called salary is not that low lah. If the salary is not that low, how would you have uh, got all the maximum grant? Well, I do not know, right? So this very complicated. Have to look at the data, but data is something that we lack at the moment. The full data. I have explained before. Affordability of BTOs or resale market, whichever it is, especially BTO. We cannot look at the median income of household of everyone in Singapore. Why? Because those who already own the HDB flat, they are not affected. That's number one. Number two, most likely they are more matured in their mid 30 or late 30s, mid-career, which they are earning quite pretty high income level already as compared when they first started working. So we should focus on those people who just applied for HDB flats, and you look at their median income instead of the whole Singapore median income to see whether it's affordable or not. That should be the appropriate way of comparing prices to income level to determine affordability. Right? Context of data is very important. I have to repeat this again. Whether it's COVID-19 vaccination, COVID death, whatever, the context of data is very important. So you do not do inappropriate comparison. Okay, so this is something that I have to repeat and repeat all over again. Okay, so Mr. Leong apparently got it wrong, right? I have to say, when I first read his post, I said, "Wow, he should kena POFMA," although it's not life and death. Right? To me, it's not a life and death. Whether what PAP undermine the PAP government, people will lose confidence of PAP government. I think that's bullshit, lah. Huh? Right? It's a small issue. It's just that a lot of I think most Singaporeans do not know exactly the policy details because the policies right now, PAP policies are very complicated. Right? Minor details here and there, they twist and turn. Wow, all the pattern is very difficult to follow, especially every now and then they go and update their policies. If you are not really into it, to look at every single details, fine details, right? The fine print, you definitely get POFMA one. Very easy to get POFMA. Right? See me sign my POFMA. I think that's unnecessary. I have people who ask me, hey, he's wrong, why cannot POFMA him? I said, there's no need to POFMA. Last time, right, PAP also no need to POFMA, right? At most, it comes out with a statement of clarification. That's all, full stop. Why should you need to POFMA? And you know the POFMA law, I will talk about POFMA law sometime later, right? Not this talk, right? It's so absurd, right? It gives the incumbent all advantage during election, especially, right? But we'll deal with it later when the election comes, right? So, Jong, the POFMA, is even more lovable. Why? People say I don't like Workers' Party, but I'm very fair. Right? His POFMA is unnecessary and unfair. Why I say that? This is my opinion. First of all, POFMA, you cannot POFMA opinion. That's number one. Secondly, you cannot POFMA people just because you interpret what people say as wrong or as not according to what you want people to believe. Your interpretation. So inside the POFMA, it's insinuation. What insinuation? When I read the POFMA and read the original post by Jong, right? Jong didn't say that the whole Aljunied Hougang Town Council saga is solely because of the AIM, right? The accounting system by AIM withdrawal, right? He didn't mean that okay. A lot of things he didn't say, of course. But not saying something doesn't mean that it's falsehood, right? So you say it's misleading, but that's your interpretation, right? In fact, after I read the correction order, put in simple terms, I still believe that it is because of the AIM, which withdraw the accounting system that created the kickstart the whole process of massive accounting or massive of recording, and thus massive things happening in the town council, right? In fact, someone actually from Reddit wrote an article that says the Ministry of National Development is incorrect some more. The POFMA correction order is incorrect. I do not know why, but you have to read. It was published in a TOC or Guts Asia, right? It says that during the big hoo-ha about this town council issue, right? Mr. Low Tia Kiang in Parliament have actually brought up the AIM also. But none of the MPs or the ministers have rebutted him. Right? AIM, the accounting system, withdrawal our accounting system may not be the sole reason that the town council saga happens, but it is an important key reason that makes it messy. Okay? No one have a single doubt about that, except for the Ministry of National Development right now. Right? And 谁对谁错 I don't know. You cannot say because people anticipate aim of withdrawing the accounting system, then they already in the know. So it's not an issue. You cannot say that, right? Why people would anticipate AIM to do that? Because AIM belongs to PAP. It's politicking. People expecting it. Right? Opposition, if I'm going to win Tampines, for example, I also anticipate it, but it doesn't mean that the the movement of the accounting software being removed from service will not be an issue, correct? So I do believe, right? Like just Jong believe. It's a belief, it's an opinion. You cannot pop out our opinion, right? It is still aim. There is the key catalyst for all these problems that come out. Of course, if you said a big organization will have a lot of issues. If you send 100 people go and audit a big organization, you still find a lot of issues. I've been an auditor before. Right? I've been an auditor of a very small unit, my army unit when I was in reservist. But I did audit also. Small unit also got a lot of audit issue. If you want to find issue, you can sure find issue. Okay, because system people don't follow the rules, people don't follow this, or the system is inadequate. Sure got issues, right? So you cannot say what are the catalysts. It's not aim. I believe it's aim. Even after I read what MND comes out with, right? I believe aim withdrawing the accounting system did contribute as a catalyst for all the troubles that comes thereafter. Okay, of course, the Reddit person came up with all the facts, all the details, all the email. I think this guy is an insider. The email that says, oh, it was AIM who wanted to withdraw and blah, blah, blah. Because, yeah, it's very, who said this first? Who initiated this first? Never mind, right? Politicking is like that. I know what you are trying to do to me. Of course, I have to anticipate. I have to prepare for it. But by saying that because you prepare for it doesn't mean that it is not an issue. I'm not helping Workers' Party. I'm just 以事论事, okay? As a very fair observer of what happens. Although I also think that Workers' Party have some shortcoming or shouldn't have done something which is, to me, is not right. Right? But that is beside the point. It's nothing to do with this. Right? Now, another point is this. Jong wrote that article. Jong wrote that article more than 1 month ago, slightly more than 1 month ago. And it's so zun, so coincidence, so good coincidence that this FOFMA came out on the very day that Pritam Singh went to court to ask for his court charges being heard in High Court instead of District Court. Right? Very good coincidence. Why? Wow. Once, because this court case is about Pritam Singh's being charged for this lying in the committee of inquiry, right? So now this POFMA is about another WP, should be a heavyweight lah. We should consider him as Cao Cao also as a NCMP before, right? Being charged for projecting falsehood, right? Being POFMA. Good coincidence, right? But this is not the first time that POFMA had been issued. 1 month or even more than 1 month after the posting had been posted on the internet. I suffered before. I was POFMA, I think, more than 1 month or 2 months after my first post about this issue about people having heart attack, and died not long after they have the jab. Right? I didn't say it must be due to the jab. I'm just saying that such coincidence should be examined very carefully because the jab have no long-term safety data. And these are the data that we must be very mindful. That's all I say. So I mean POFMA to say that, oh, there's no evidence to show that this guy who are dead because of the jab, right? I come back to this. What is the truth? No evidence means it's falsehood. You see, I have a small debate with someone about this POFMA issue. I said, now, what is truth? People can believe in monkey god, no? The Christian god, or whichever god, right? But there's no evidence to prove that they exist. Does it mean that it's falsehood? A belief, you cannot POFMA a belief. You cannot POFMA an opinion. A belief is actually a form by an opinion, right? So how, in fact, when the POFMA Act, the law was first in consultation. PAP knew that. It says that, oh, we will not POFMA opinion. We just POFMA facts. But have no evidence doesn't mean it's falsehood. Right? It's something for everybody to think about. It's actually a quite a dialectic thing, right? A dialectic thing in the sense that a very logical argument. Right? You want to go to court and argue, accusing people have no evidence to prove that what he says is true, doesn't mean that he's talking falsehood. You know? You have to prove that what he says is falsehood. Okay, it's two different things. Right? A implies B doesn't mean B implies A. Something like that, induction, deduction. Right? You have to take Logic 101 in philosophy to understand that. Anyway, good coincidence, I would say. Well done. Now, talking about falsehood and all that, we are very mindful about censorship also. This is what happened. This is a letter which Mark Zuckerberg, don't know how to pronounce his name. Anyway, the boss of Facebook that I'm using right now, wrote, right, written to a committee of inquiry, a committee on the judiciary of the United States, House of Representatives, right? The chairman or the committee on the judiciary. Now, in this letter, it touches on, I think, a few issues. Mainly, that the boss, Mark, admitted that somehow he was forced by Biden administration to censor certain COVID-19 vaccines posting, right? Censorship. Now, in a free world, in a nation of that regard itself as a democracy with freedom of expression and all that, blah blah blah, for a government to exert pressure on a media outlet, Facebook is a media platform, to have censorship, things that they do not like to hear or do not want people to know or do not want people to talk about, is a taboo. Right? Regardless of whether they think that is falsehood or not. Because at that point of time, the vaccine, COVID is so new, right? The Wuhan virus is so new. Not many people know exactly what it is about. All the experts are actually as clueless as the layman on the street, right? Because it's so new. And the COVID-19 vaccine is so new without long-term data. Nobody really knows how effective or how safe it is, because as long as you do not have long-term data, you cannot determine the efficacy and safety of the thing. So if you want to censor people about the potential injuries, reports about injuries, reports about issues and all that, it is not right. Right? Because science progress not on one stop, determination of truth. Science is always a progression and exploration of truth. Okay, and of course, this will also involve Biden's son's computer saga. And though for those who are not very well versed in it, Biden's son was actually accused of being involved in certain deals, which involve briberies and all that. Okay, the computers, the laptop. Then the FBI, Biden administration is a conflict of interest. Biden administration used the FBI to go and pressure Facebook and says, oh, this is a disinformation by the Russian government, blah, blah, blah. But it turns out that it is not. It is, there's some truth in this saga. Okay. So such interference of media, of freedom of expression is very dangerous. Right? Whenever people talk about something that the power that we don't like, right, they will be termed as conspiracy theories. But when it turns out that the conspiracy theories are right, then what? We are being labeled already. Right? And like me, I'm being labeled anti-vax. I'm not anti-vax, I'm safe vaxxer. I believe in the vaccine, but it must be safe. It must be effective. Don't take it. Right? If you ask me, I still don't believe the vaccine is safe. In fact, today, I just received a note for someone else, right? She's supposed to be a teacher, very sporty, right? Although 60 plus years old, very sporty teacher, right? Have no health issue at all. And he got a mild heart attack early this year. And she started to doubt about the jab. And she says she will never believe in the jab anymore without my influence. It's not under Goh Meng Seng influence. That's her own conclusion. Right? I was pretty shocked to hear from on and off. I will hear this. Right? If you do not have a real public discussion or discourse exploration, and when something turns bad, right, there will be a loss of public confidence. And that's exactly what Mark says in this letter that he wrote. So he says that he regretted that he has succumbed to the pressure by the Biden administration. And he will not do it again if the same thing happened to him. That means some government official come and pressure his team again. He will not succumb to such pressure again. Right? Okay? And that is what he's going to do. Right? If that ever happens again. This is a very significant development because it happens in the free world. It's supposed to be the America, the great United States of America. For someone like him, he's not a nobody, to admit that the government actually put pressure on him to effect censorship. And to some extent, he felt that things have gone wrong. Right? Such censorship have gone wrong, on the wrong side of history. And that's why he actually regretted about that. Right? It's a very significant admission. So the fact checker and all that basically it overturned all what the fact check things that we see on my Facebook post. A lot of Facebook fact check. I'm being fact checked so many times because I talk about vaccine. On the balance, I only talk about opinions and how I interpret certain data or information that comes to me. Right? I'm being fact checked here, fact checked there, and so many about a fact checked facts, so-called, turn out to be true. Right? I mean, we are in the midst of a long-term data collection period. As I said, long-term data means 3 to 5 years at least. And SS theft is so much higher in Singapore. Well, some people say Singapore SS theft is the lowest. It turns out not to be so. We have one of the highest SS theft of all causes in the world. 20%, man. And I last checked for the last quarter, it has not come down. Right? It is still maintained as a very high level as compared to year 2020 or before. Well, what to do? If you want to believe the Ministry of Health, go and take a jab. I cannot stop you. Do so. 懒得说了. Okay? Now, this is the latest thing that comes out from the Ministry of Manpower. My friend called me immediately, or late night, call me to complain about this thing. Right? Tan Leong announced some of the details of this unemployment support, skill future support. Is basically an unemployment benefits, right? Whatever you call it is still an unemployment benefits, which I have advocated, right? Exactly for 6 months, right? They also put up for 6 months. Exactly, I said, people are unemployed, they should be given unemployment benefits, right? Because it takes time, and if they need so, they go for learning to change their skill set or adjust their skill set, upgrade their skill set, update their skill sets for new jobs. That's why I said before. They are doing exactly the same, but not exactly the same. Same, but different. Why? Because what I've said in my last proposal, I do not know when it was it already. Quite some time already. 讲了口水都干了. Right? I said, half of the such unemployment benefits may not give a full value of their salary, last drawn salary, or maybe half of it at least, but at a minimum wage, it means 1,004, right, every month. But this one is not. First one is 1,005, then it start to drop, right? That's according to the proposal, the plan proposal that came out. Right? I do not know why they want to do that, but it's not very right lah. Huh? But never mind, right? All right? At least something. Like Goh Meng Seng said this before. I didn't say about what insurance, what unemployment insurance. I don't think unemployment insurance will work lah. Put it that way, right? You just give straight. As I explained before, why this should be done in macroeconomics. This will be a balancing act to prevent any sudden downturn of economic activities, to be upkeep, not to worsen. When you give money to people to spend, free money lah, during an economic downturn, you prevent other sectors like the retail and F&B from suffering a sudden demand shock, and the economy will not worsen. That is the main reason why unemployment benefits should be given, beside on compassionate terms and all that. You only put money, release cash liquidity into the economy when there is a sudden downturn of economic activities. You do not give money, right, just because inflation is high. Because by doing so, you're going to push the inflation even higher. Right? That's economics 101. So what they are doing is CDC voucher, giving you CDC voucher when the cost of living, so-called the inflation is high. That is actually not the right way of managing. They should have dealt with it on the supply side, not on the demand side. Right? It's about managing economy. Economy is basically managing the demand side or the supply side only. There's only two ways. Right? They are managing the wrong direction, so called. But never mind, got money, who don't want, right? I say it's a wrong way of managing. They should have suppressed the rental because the government controlled a big bulk of the rental market. That means the commercial buildings and all that. They should not increase rental. For example, the JDC factories, the retail rentals and all that, so on and so forth. Those things they can actually control. They did not. They believe in free market. But in believing free market, they still give CDC voucher. I do not know what type of economics theory they use, but it's not going to work. It will aggravate the inflationary pressure. Anyway, laymen may not understand this, all right? Because when we study economics, it's not just about the symptoms we want to address. It's the root of the problem. It's the first principle. It's based on first principle we want to address. Okay, but this unemployment benefits, right, is okay lah. More or less, you still give something is good, but why permanent residence is included? That is the thing that my friend was so fed up. Late night also called me to complain about this. I didn't really take note because I was busy. Then I go and read Business Time. Wow, really? By 2026, they are going to include permanent residents in this scheme. We are a small nation with limited resources, financial resources, as well as land resources or otherwise. Right? 自己人都照顾不好, old people also cannot take care already. You still want to take care of foreigners. The PRs is still foreigners, except for those who are the foreign spouses of a local citizen. Okay, that is okay. For those people, you give this benefits is still okay, all right? But those PRs who come here to work to earn a living, most of them are from the third world country. When they will retire back to Indonesia, Malaysia, right, or even China, India. They can live a very comfortable life, So why would we want to ensure that they have unemployment benefit if they cannot find a job in Singapore? That means their skill set or their services, the services they provided is no longer needed. They should balik kampung. Simple as that. Unless, as I said, if they are the foreign spouses of our Singapore citizens, there's an exception. Right? We, as a small nation called Singapore, have no obligation to any foreigners holding any other passport other than Singapore passport for their livelihood, for their well-being. Right? We, as Singaporeans, the males, have already contributed to national defense to provide safety for these people come to Singapore to earn a living, to have a safe place to stay, right? Or even to have their families, but they are still PRs. 还要奔哇，结婚还要包生孩子 ，cannot one It's illogical. This is something that I'm against. Unemployment benefits for Singaporeans, yes. Skill future upgrading, right? To update the skill set of Singaporeans, yes. To adopt to the new economy or structural change in the economy, yes. But if we are going to give all these PRs unemployment benefits, and according to this plan, it's called Skill Future Unemployment Support. They are expected to go for counseling, also, career counseling, and update their skills using Skill Future. Are we going to give them Skill Future Fund as well? Hello, these are taxpayers' money. We pay GST to pay for them. When we ask the PAP government to remove the land cost of HDB BTOs or to spend more money on our people, right? Or even last time to talk about these unemployment benefits, they said we will be raiding the reserve if we come into power. But now they do this, giving unemployment benefits to foreigners, even as a PRs. That's not raiding the reserve. What nonsense. Do they know their priorities is towards Singaporeans, Singapore citizens, and maybe towards their foreign spouses? Are they going to get votes from the permanent residents? Are they expect permanent residents to stay back and fight for this country if we are invaded? Right? And in fact, if we do this, it seems that there's no incentive to become a citizens after all, because sama-sama what? If you are foreign, you stay you can enjoy best of both worlds, You can maintain your Malaysian passport or Indian passport or the PRC passport, the Chinese passport, for enjoying the good living, that good salary they can earn from Singapore's economy, right? And you're out of job, Singapore government still give you unemployment benefits, right? But when they retire, they live like a king back in their hometown. Wow, I also want to be a PR, man. Well, that's provided, Malaysian cannot give me a national citizenship lah. Because other place to get a citizenship is not easy one. Only Singapore is like Leong like that. Even PRs now is like Leong. I think it's not right. Okay. We got to do something about that, right? Show them that you do not agree with such plan in the coming election. That will be one of the key points. If they really insist of going to give a PR unemployment benefits, right, we will fight on that point. Of course, I have said this. In fact, our election campaign, core campaign manifesto comes on this. Unchecked population growth is the mother of all problems. I've said this in 2015 when the People's Power Party have a first form and contested its first election in Choa Chu Kang. Right? That is my message. And still, almost 10 years later, 9 years later, it is still the same problem. And it's getting worse. Back then, maybe I say that, people thought I talk cock, I talk rock, right? I talk nonsense. But after 9 years down the road, you can see a lot of issues that we face right now. The root cause is a population policy issue. Unchecked. Within this 9 or 10 years, our population increased by 1 million. By 1 million, 1 million out of 5 million maybe? No, 4 million plus. 5 million. That's 20% increase. It will only get worse. Get worse in what? Well, you walk around, you drive around, maybe most people take MRT, you will not observe this. But if you drive around, you take bus, maybe bus not affected because you have got bus lane. But you see all the road works, all the jams in the peak hours, even non-peak hours also jam, right? Saturday also jam, right? All the road works. It's getting more cramped, right? It will only get worse because the population is not coming down. It's not going coming down. Under the PAP's 英明的领导之下, right? It will only go up. It will not come down. Right? I have explained that when they say they need to increase water bills, right? Water bond tax and whatever, because they want to invest in infrastructure in anticipation of a double in consumption in water consumption by 2065. I did a calculation. If there's no increase in population, why would your water consumption increase? Right now, it's very simple. Electricity maybe lah, but not water. Water, everyday people have 8 cups of water is quite pretty standard. How much water you can take per day or use per day? It's pretty standard. It's unlike electricity, right? So by simple calculation, that planning parameters, apparently, this is called planning parameters, which I have always asked the government, the PAP government, to provide money. You say your population target, no target. Okay, no target. How are you going to plan for this city, this little red dot? It's impossible, right? You must have some population planning parameters. They refuse to say outright what is the parameters. But they forgotten when they talk about this justification for water bond fees increase and water increase, blah, blah, blah. They have to build so much, desalination plant and all that. Why? Because they are expecting water consumption to double by 2065. You did the calculation. It's not a proportional, it's not a double in population, because according to what PUB report says, commercial usage of water will increase more than residential increase. So you did some calculation. I've done it before. The projected population parameters planning is actually 10 million. People still don't believe. Right? I calculated with facts, not created by me, given by PUB. Right? So are you going to have that? And I explained before, COE, your cars is going to get even more expensive. If you think the COE prices are high, wait until you see 5 years down the road. Because if their plan is going to increase population while cars population is fixed, right, restrained, of course, demand increase, supply fixed. This A-level economics, you draw a supply is like that. Demand keep increasing. What will happen? The price will increase. The COE bidding will increase. It's a no-brainer. This will be the GE issue. Of course, recently, a lot of people talk about this resale, HDB resale market. Wow, 1 million or 2 million. Oh, no, not 2 million. 1.8 million, I think. 1.7 million, nearly. For 4-room flat, right? This was actually predicted way back in 2011 by none other by me. I start telling people around me, even when I go down to Tampines walkabout, I told the residents, do you believe that very soon we will have $1 million HDB flats? They say, bo ya la, mana u la, right? It's coming true. It's already come true. Right? Right? Now is now it's only the resale market. The BTO is getting nearer in matured estate. 800,000, nearly 800,000, 700,000, 800,000. Can see already. How long will it take for it to reach 1 million? Very soon, man. Right? Who pays? And not you, not me lah. I'm old already. I don't need to buy, right? BTOs or resale. Or young couples will need to pay for that. Right? Now, HDB issues are very complex, especially complex. And I have challenged back then at 2011. That was 15 years ago, 14 years ago, no, 13 years ago. I already saw this problem. I said it's unsustainable if they stick with this HDB CPF policy. HDB and CPF policies should not be entangled together. Right? It's actually a mixture, right? Concoction of a disaster. But back then, Ma Baotang was a Minister of National Development. He said you can monetize your HDB flat for retirement. My goodness. You know what's wrong with that statement or not? If a person needs to monetize his HDB flats for retirement, it is not his HDB flat that is monetizing. It means that HDB prices must keep going up, not coming down, in order for him or she to monetize it for retirement. You want to monetize it, you must have high value, ma? Or else how to finance your retirement, right? But if the HDB prices is going up and up and up, who will be the one indirectly financing that? Of course, the future generation. That is simple economics logic. Nobody challenged him. I challenged him. I say, if you want this on record, I challenged him 3 times. Okay, this is the first time that in my NSP forum announcement of candidates, I challenge him. Right, you listen to this. Officially, I'm putting up a challenge to have a housing debate, a debate on housing issues. Whether you want to do it on a town hall or television, I have no problem.
No word from Minister Ma Baotang on the NSP challenge yet, but he has responded to a proposal in the Workers' Party manifesto to peg prices of new HDB flats to the median income. Mr. Ma says he is proud of the government's asset enhancement policy with HDB flats.
What you do for the new flat prices must have an implication for the resale flat prices. And I read the Workers' Party again. I read them very carefully. They say, it's going to take a while for the effect to filter through. It's going to take a while for this effect to filter through. Now, that's, it's like saying, don't worry, the tsunami is going to hit you, but only in a few hours' time.
Wow, no sound. Alamak. Sorry. Oh dear. Just now talk so much, no sound. Basket. Okay, never mind. I will repeat this part again in my next live chat. Sorry for this. It's got up. Yeah, my friend just called, tell me the no sound. Right? Mainly is this. Mainly is this. We cannot use our CPF. Okay. Uh, my mistake because I have to switch off my mic just now. Alamak. Now, we cannot link CPF to HDB prices. Right? Why? I will explain in my next live chat. Sorry about this. Right? Wasted my 口水 saliva. Right? I will talk about this in my next live chat. I will repeat this again. Okay? So good night for now. Thank you for watching.